The album cover.
Hmm.
Where'd the album cover come from?
Mm. It was so intuitive, that moment in time. It was so intuitive. I have in my mind's eye, my mind's ears, this multifaceted artistic expression of just music alone. So as I was feeling out the album for what it was going to be, and what came to me was the image of like brightness and brightness like these lights for real, but having this figure that looks a bit ambiguous, but has this like this divinity about it, because that's how I perceive everyone's spirit to actually be within everyone. That it's going to be this thing that we can never truly 100% articulate with words, music, all of that. But you'll see it through the light that shines in everyone. I truly believe everyone has a light to them. So off of that concept, what that became was me drawing out this figure on a sketch pad and pairing that image, blending it with my own tapestry that I had at the crib, and then doing a little bit of editing so that that same concept I had in my head, I could then just have it. And it was like one of those, like, you know how people have first takes with songs? That was like the first take with the image, coming up with that. That's how the image came about.
And what were you attempting to do with that album?
I wanted to tell the journey, if you will, of one person's soul or spirit going through life. When I made Life, it was already envisioned what life would seem to be like if you could see a child being born through the mother, essentially. But I know for me, life sounds like the notes where like in the song it's F sharp, and then you have all these different notes that are building up to carry the weight of that. It's no different than like the journey beginning to start. And then as soon as the baby comes out and is welcomed into the world, you get that fall of chords, you get that fall of symphony music, you get all of that. You get awakened to what this world is going to bring to you. And so from there, that starts the whole journey throughout like the whole album of, okay, what do we see? What becomes of the world? So from Life, you get Spirit Track. You know, that one, that one was like maybe 2 or 3 days within the process. But with me making that track, it's really as simple as this. I was like, there's a fire burning. There's a fire that is burning inside your heart so hard. You know, all that. That's me trying to make sense of how the spirit operates versus how you and I operate. You know, on a conscious and unconscious level, let's say.
Yeah.
You know, that whole song is me trying to articulate that the energies, if you will, that you and I use to navigate life, to talk, to sit, to pose, to do anything that we do, comes from that ambiguous state that we can't really define or really get into, but it's there. And so from there, you got all these different tracks, even down to the last track, which is Death.
Death, yeah.
That one hits me so hard because, when I made it and then reflected on it, I didn't know if I wanted to keep hearing it because it felt a bit prophetic. It felt a bit prophetic for me, especially because the aims of this album was to give that journey a conclusion, a close.
Not self-prophetic.
No, not necessarily.
Okay,
Not
okay,
self-prophetic, no.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I got you. Okay.
Yeah. But it was definitely like prophetic in a way that like the energy alone is just too much for me to handle. I don't know if you have that or if like anyone does, but like, you know, there's just certain songs, whether you made them or someone else, a movie, a book, that at some point it hits you on a deep emotional level. You can't fathom trying to finish it because you don't know if you can take it. That's what that was. So, yeah, the Spirit album, that's all about the journey of just one soul living a life. Yeah.
Death, bro. Here's what I liked about death.
Yeah.
And now that I understand the concept,
Yeah.
I felt like you were taking the sting out of death with the song
Wow.
and your chord choices and stuff. I was like,
Yeah.
it's just a part of life. It's not
Yeah.
that bad. It can be, and I watched my father pass in the hospital. We were together. It was a beautiful death. Watching him transition was one of the most beautiful moments I have ever had in my life up to this point. And listening to your song, it made me feel like it's not, it can be doom and gloom, but you were choosing to, it was almost like you're riding into, it's funny because I think in pictures, like landscapes and stuff, and in my mind I was hoping, I wanted to hear something that reminded me of a sunset.
Ooh, okay, finish that thought. I'm gonna tell you the process. Okay, go ahead. You're so good.
No, you go, man, you go.
You sure?
Yeah,
You
yeah.
sure?
I'm sure, go, because that's.
Dude. So when I made the song, at first I wasn't gonna like do it because it was already like 2 a.m. I had just finished all these different tracks. Death became one of those tracks where it was like, I'm gonna put this in after I already did it, like I already came up with it. Because around 2 a.m., I wanted to go to sleep, but I was like, I'm not, something's calling for this to happen. So I thought about the journey and I thought about death. And honestly, a lot of what you said is a big part of that track, to the point that after like making it, the sunrise, the literal sunrise at 5 a.m., I'm seeing it shine through, and it felt like this moment that just like came together, and it was like, yes, not only do I feel this in the music, but it's showing itself in real life.
Yeah.
It's poetry.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, I wanted to do a music video with me arriving to a gravesite, arriving to someone who passed, no one in particular. But I wanted to capture that because that's what I was feeling.
Yeah.
So it's crazy that that's what you ended up like.
Yeah, that was
I
it.
didn't expect much of it to really connect in that way that's like really real for me. That you found that.